Had a number of great releases this year. Woo! We finally got stuff out. Happy, joy. Which is really great. And I thought, as soon as the text doesn't agree, ta-da! There. Yay! Because we have that, so we can do this. And then we do this. Play. Ta-da! I thought I'd tell you where we are. All right. So we had these releases, and everything's now in great, wonderful, stable shape. And well, as we already know, it's all out there. And there are still things which don't compile against the latest versions of PHC, and not stuff that works against the latest versions of the platform. And so the state is not perhaps as wonderful. So for example, if you wanted to download Django and install that, because it's a great web framework, right? We all want to do that. All right, the requirements are pretty darn simple. They are just Python 2.7 VM, right? So that's pretty easy, and it just kind of works. If I wanted to install USAD, because it's a great web framework, actually we might be more interested in this one than that. Well, there's this page about how to do it, and I admit I'm missing the alternative instructions up at the top, but since I already have the platform, I'd look at these ones, and it says, yeah, get the platform and do Cabal update, and so, okay, I'll do Cabal update, and what? I do Cabal update, and I have the latest, but it tells me I need to get the latest. I mean, don't I have the latest platform? It's got the latest GHC, but it doesn't seem to have the latest Cabal. That's kind of sad. And wait, this ASIN 10.0.10? No, wait, the current ASIN is 0.12, so it's not the latest either. Fine, I'll just do Cabal install USAD, right? That should work, right? All right, so we're doing great. We're getting releases out, but it isn't quite all there. And part of, I wanted to come to ICFP and the Haskell Symposium and Workshop and talk to people in hallways a lot about release coordination and release management. And mostly I expected to come up here and just dump the problem on all of you. But in fact, I had some great hallway conversations. And believe it or not, we actually have a plan. Or an ideal. Something called GPS Haskell. And it even has a logo. Warnings, just a rough sketch. All right, so what do developers want? What we want is developers want, you basically want to compile against dependent packages, and you have like, X months where you don't really have to change anything, because when you use some package for syslog, just because the syslog guy decided to change his API 14 times in 6 weeks, like you really don't have to muck around, right? This syslog, you're just using it to get syslog. You don't have to keep recompiling your code because some package keeps changing constantly. Now, X, Y, and Z vary for different developers, and we can get into that in a moment, yes. But the aim is like you want to know what you expect. You want to know what you expect from a package. Is it the Rock of Gibraltar when you use it? Or is it a seething magma of innovation, right? Well, you have packages that are both of these things. The key thing, though, is you want to know your stability and be able to count on it. So we propose GPS Haskell, combination of GHC, the platform, and stackage. Release at a consistent point. You all know what the GHC is. The platform is still the platform, and it's still the pre-built installers. And stackage now gives us, whereas package is the Wild West, yay, Wild West. This is a selection of packages that have some constantly, always version solvable in toto at the head. The head always resolves. You never have Cabal over the head. We imagine, like Ubuntu long-term release, we imagine rolling releases with some long-term support. I don't know how many months that is, but it's some amount. The idea here is primarily that during a release, GHC is completely stable. If you're on 37, you don't have to reinstall the compiler because the syslog guy decided to change his API and use some crazy new feature, right? This actually happens to people. The platform still has point updates, which we can do now thanks to its handy-dandy new build system. And stackage is still, there's a branch of stackage for 37 that is API compatible. The head is always buildable, always solvable. There's no major version changes from the version in the 0th version. Our idea would be to make this really easy for library authors. There's more to this. Caveat hackor, this is barely half-baked. It's less than 48 hours old as an idea. We will need support from not only infrastructure, but also you guys. There we are. They made it